manga or anime? Which do you prefer? In the anime community, that is a heavily debated topic. What is better? Is the manga better, the original source material? Or is the anime better, the revised, more adapted quality of the original source material? People always debate the same topic, and some fluctuate. Some series, they may prefer the manga, some may prefer the actual anime, and this is definitely present when you refer to fight scenes or emotional scenes within both of the respected versions. Now, each version is done and adapted in a different way so that the author or the directors can get the viewpoint across to the audience. Sometimes that may not be in the same exact way that the source material was done. Sometimes it may be in that same exact way. And each reader, audience, viewer can take it in different ways. But the main thing is the comparison between both of them still capable to be sought out and understand what was going on. And that's what I'm here to do today. Solo Leveling is a big anime that has recently come out and was even a bigger manhwa before. Very popular. And so today I'm going to be talking about one of our first fight scenes that we actually have in the series, and that is Jin-Woo versus Rasaka, or just the big purple snake, alright? Anyways, against Rasaka the snake, I'm going to be comparing the Manwha version, alright, which is the adapted version of the original source material, which was a light novel, compared to the other adapted version, the anime, alright? Obviously, they're going to have their respective differences. Anime is supposed to have the soundtrack, it's supposed to have the visual, the quality, but at the same time, there can be certain scenes that give you more of an emotional turn in the manhwa, or it could give you a more emotional turn and done better in the anime. So that's what we're here to compare, alright? We're going to be comparing both of these fights in their respective different adaptations. So, without further ado, let's get into Jin-Woo versus Rasaka. Now, obviously we know what the case is. Jin-Woo is going into an instant E-ring dungeon, and the beginning part of this actual arc pretty much done the same in both. The only difference would be that the manhwa has different clothes than what the anime represents us. The anime is showing us the same clothes that Jin-Woo has had from the beginning, the first episode, while the manhwa differentiates his clothes, giving him more expansive clothing attire, alright? So that's a big difference, and I'm kind of mad that the anime didn't do that, because I feel like the clothes he had in the manhwa were pretty cool, but it's not too big of a detail where it takes from the whole viewing experience. So once you get past the fights against all the Lycans, and you finally get to where Jin-Woo was standing right down the tunnel of the stairwell into Hapjeong Station, where the trains and subways go, this is where things starting to pick up a little bit. So now we're getting into the actual main portion where the fight is about to start. Now I will say the manhwa definitely presents better colors than the anime does, and that's obviously going into the fact that the anime, they're going to have to animate these, and having all these bright colors, these Solo Leveling introduced like 50 new colors to the human eye retrospect, alright? So, but you can't have all those colors in the anime. It could just throw it off a little bit. It also is very expensive, come on now. Manhwa does have the coloring much better, gives Hapjeong Station a little bit brighter, so that is one detail that kind of contrasts against the other. But by the time he makes it down to the platform of the station, we're getting basically the same exact scene from the manhwa anime. Obviously, Rasaka is going through the water and he attacks Jin-Woo. Now, in both of the adaptations, Jin-Woo does his best to guard against the attack from Rasaka, in which he does, but he gets flung to the wall. But the main difference is that because of the animation, it's done much better in the anime, alright? The angling of the camera and the way Jin-Woo hits the wall was very, very unique, because it automatically caught my eyes. Like, that was really cool. You don't just see the fast pacing of a horizontal slant like that. Nah, that was some crazy diction right there, but hey, that's the best way I can describe it. That was really cool. So I prefer that scene right there compared to the manhwa, which it wasn't bad. It's just, he got slung against the wall. You know, you can't really animate a snake's tail hitting you against the wall in a manhwa. It doesn't work that way. But one thing I will say is that Jin-Woo, off the bat, is just much more serious. He's a much more compelling character in the manhwa than he is in the anime at this same exact time. He gets to that point within this fight, but he starts off more serious, more prepared to fight Rasaka than he is in the anime. In the anime, he's more fearful. He has more of a lower demeanor than he has in the manhwa, which I prefer the manhwa in that case, because even though his sword was broken, Jin-Woo still realized that he was going to have to fight either way. And he got serious. He was like, it's time for him to get serious. He thought he leveled up a little bit, but nah, he's like, Rasaka's still orange, meaning that he's still about the same level, if not stronger, than Jin-Woo, so he has to take this serious. And that's when the fight really starts to kick off. Rasaka looks way more vicious within the manhwa because of the detailing that they do. And again, that has to go with the manhwa being more of a standstill picture, so they're able to draw more detailed characteristics when they go into their characters or their monsters. But I still cannot take away from the anime because Jin-Woo fighting against Rasaka is still a cool scene in the anime. The blade going against the armored scales on Rasaka is awesome. You see the sparks flying, Jin-Woo having the broken sword, having the hilt up against the armored scales. It is very cool. You just don't get that in the manga. And to keep going and give praise to the anime, the angling and the way the camera pans as Jin-Woo gets flung across the water, across the walls, into the water, that's really cool. We didn't get to see a scene like that in the manhwa. And that's, again, they're trying to prolong the fight, get more detail into this fight, expand it to make it cooler, to make it more vibrant, to engage the audience more. And that's really cool. I don't ever expect the anime to copy frame for frame, panel for panel, the manhwa or the manga. It's kind of cool to see them add more fluidity to the fight, to the action-packed scenes, and this is what they did. They threw him in the water, Rasaka chasing him, slapping him out of the water, slapping him across his body, flying. These are cool scenes. It really shows depth to how engaging this fight was. And then as you move on, and Rasaka is just dogging out Jin-Woo, you start to finally get to the part where Jin-Woo realizes that he's in despair. He's falling into despair again against a stronger opponent, which is something Jin-Woo faced a lot in the beginning of the earlier conception of solo leveling. Him falling into despair against stronger opponents, realizing that he doesn't think he can beat them because of what he went through in the past when he was just the weakest E-rank hunter of all time. And so, same way they portrayed it. But I do prefer the manhwa's portrayal because it is going through more scenes of when Jin-Woo was at his weakest, when he was low, when people made fun of him, when he was in utter despair, when they went into the double gate dungeon. It's just done much better. You really can understand and feel the feelings and emotions that Jin-Woo is trying to convey, compared to the anime where done in the same way, but it's just not as impactful. It's trying to get back into that fight. And again, can't expect them to be done the same way, but I do feel the impact of Jin-Woo's emotions more in the manhwa than I did in the anime. Also, it was very cool how they added that flying train. Again, that's a really cool scene. Like, in the manhwa, even in the anime, I did not see where they brought abandoned subway cart from, but that was really cool. And watching Jin-Woo have to run from that, the glass shattering sparkles, that's a really cool scene. But as you move on, we get to see Jin-Woo gird up the Daisy Dukes, realize that he has to get stronger if he wants to progress and beat this game that he is simulated in. And so, to do that, he girds up and he realizes that he's finna fight. He's gonna have to keep fighting. I really like how they portrayed that. Again, I prefer the manhwa because even though the dialogue is generally the same, it really does have the impact of the visuals. The manhwa is showing, obviously, the damage that Jin-Woo is taking. The clothes are ripped and tattered. The blood is all over the place. Jin-Woo is in distress, but at the same time, he's portraying a serious, emotionless face, ready to get it on. And then, you get the dark little blue lightning scene of his aura. That was really cool. I kind of prefer it in the manhwa though, because you get to see the clothes ripped and tattered across the chest, the lightning coming over with the little aura, and then obviously the unique colored word bubble. He's like, I have to become even stronger. It was done all right in the anime, but I still prefer the manhwa because it's the visuals. It shows you a better depiction of the state that Jin-Woo was in during the fight against Rasaka. So that's something that I would just have to add to another point into the manhwa. That was really cool. And moving on, you now have where it's getting to the climax, the finale of the fight, Jin-Woo against Rasaka, and Jin-Woo is going all out. The anime does it very well again. The sword, the hilt clashing against the armored scales, the sparks flying all over. Jin-Woo jumps to grab the neck and hold on to Rasaka. Even though in the manhwa it feels that Jin-Woo got a stronger grip onto Rasaka's neck and was able to crush in deeper, I don't know if it was just proportions of how Rasaka seemed in the manga. He seemed probably like a little bit thinner, where he was able to get a stronger grip onto her. But I mean, in the anime, it was the same type of thing. Now, the anime did a great job with portraying Jin-Woo screaming. He's going all out, so he put all the points in the strength stats. He's trying to crush Rasaka. Rasaka going crazy from the pain, the blood coming out of his mouth. That was done exceptionally. I cannot even complain about that. That was really cool. and then the final words die till Rasaka's done. The manga kind of skips past the part where Rasaka's fully defeated. The anime actually shows us more, so I'll give a point to the anime on that. I wanted to actually see the finale, the finalization of Rasaka's defeat, which we got in the anime, not so much in the manhwa. But in the end, they ended off the fight generally the same, where he's both sitting down in the circle of Rasaka's dead body. That was really cool. Jin-Woo's adding the points to his stats, realizing the leveling up he's got, the dagger he's gotten. Really cool scene. Overall, was a great fight in both areas. Like I said, the manga just portrays more emotion, portrays a better setup, the coloring. The animation does a great job with the fluidity, the camera angles, the panning, the choreography. Really cool. It added unique depths to it, like going through the water. That was interesting. The flying train going over, the scream in the end, really cool. The manga did a better job with the clothing. I really do enjoy Jin-Woo's clothing being more tattered and ripped up by the finale of the fight compared to how it was in anime. Again, these little details, but again, the little details really do count in the end. So this was comparing the manhwa against the anime. If I have to say what I prefer, I might have to say the manhwa a little bit more, just because of the emotions of reading Jin-Woo's son versus Rasaka. It was just really good. It was just really good. He feels more of a compelling protagonist at this point in time in the story compared to in the anime. But let me know what you think. Do you prefer the manhwa or the anime's adaptation of Sung Jin-Woo versus Rasaka? Let me know in the comments below. And without that, I'll see y'all in the next one.